This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode 420. Anthony here, and as you can see, I am flying solo this episode. I promise you we're going to have some special things to talk about, and again, episode 420, right? Can't think of anything funnier to talk about than screen growing. Oh, this is weird. Hang on. Let me see if I can try and fix this. Oh! What?
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 420. Larry here.
No, just no. No. What is going on? What is going on?
Where have you been?
No, where have you been?
I've been sitting here since January. Finally, you decide to zoom in on Zoom.
Oh, all right. So 9 months of waiting has led to this. I need to talk to Zoom. I need a refund.
Last time someone waited 9 months for me, I don't think they were that excited anyway, so it don't matter.
And yes, I know. I've asked her about that. Well, Anthony here. And as you can see, somebody has crashed the party. Larry, welcome back to the show.
And you have absolutely, well, you do actually have no idea how happy I am to be back on the show. This is phenomenal. We are already back into old hats as far as before recording. You know,
you're talking about the 45 minutes of setup.
Running late. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But no, I've been waiting for this, and I'm very happy to be back, because I mean, there's no better what we're going to be talking about. There's going to be nothing better than, exactly a reason why I'm back. Oh, excuse me. Just need to stretch a little bit.
Yeah, just stretching a little bit, right? First time you stretched today, right?
First time I stretched in a long time, brother. Or
all month, or since you left the show, whatever it is. Yeah, Larry, it's been far too long. I know you ditched me at 400. You vowed never to return, and yet here you are, back again.
I have a stone outside, a stone that says that never to return. So
never to return. Well, yeah, that was the gravestone I sent you as a part of you.
Yes, which is odd.
Yeah, just put the years out. It was like 2015 to 2025, whatever, 2024, whatever it was. However long we've been doing this, but no, it's really I'm really, really happy to have you back on the show. I think again, like you said, it's just like old times, getting ready before the show, and now filming this. And I again picked the perfect episode, and probably the perfect number for the episode 2, episode 420. Here we are. And before we get into the topic for today's show, because we are gonna it's gonna be something that's gonna make Larry very happy and me very not. So
has been for 30 years,
which is just fitting. But before we do that, Larry, I want to go into the way we used to open our show, which was always our shopping trips.
Yes.
And I know you haven't been on the show in a while, and I don't know what you've been doing gaming wise. I do know for a fact that your whatever the N64 analog thing is called, I know it still hasn't shown up yet.
Don't even get me started on that, honestly. I mean, like, it was supposed to ship like in February, I think, and then third quarter, now fourth quarter. I don't know what's going on, but that's the newest things will be coming in.
Yeah.
Some eagle eyes might be noticing that some stuff,
I
not as much
noticed.
purchasing, but as much as some stuff might be downsizing a little bit.
I was just gonna say the shelves are starting to get bare. I actually see the back of the shelf in places. It's very interesting.
The wall is blue.
Yes.
No, I got to be honest. The only big thing I bought since I was last on this show would be the Switch 2. That's pretty
very
much
nice. Well, and how is the Switch 2? Because I don't have one yet.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The Switch, I love the Switch 2. It's definitely like faster. It's like getting a new iPhone. It's faster. Everything processes more. Okay, yes, maybe not as many like Switch 2 exclusive games, though Mario Kart World I think is phenomenal. I know a lot of people starting to compare the new Sonic racer to it, but that's awesome. I played the demo for Donkey Kong Bananarama, whatever, banana something.
Bananarama, yeah.
Yes, I was going to say Bananarama. That game plays. I haven't bought it yet, but that's definitely on the wish list.
I heard it's amazing.
They say it plays, and it does. It plays just like Odyssey. Ooh. So very comfortable.
All right. Smooth. See, now that I'm interested in for sure.
And then as far as like playing Switch 1 games, I definitely see a difference and forget like some of the games that were like Nintendo upgraded a lot of the first party games, but things are loading faster. I can see like the response times a little bit faster. And it's not like an emulation of the Switch 1. Like it's built in, like it changes the code of a Switch 1 game to play on a Switch 2. So bottom line, it's cool. I love the fact that the Joy-Cons are bigger. Yeah. Like I don't have the old Joy-Con with me, but it's definitely bigger for these mitts. I'm very happy. Bottom line, very happy with it. My Switch has always been the go-to for me, like with the modern systems. But I'm very happy with the Switch 2, to the point where the Switch 1 used to be right there.
Yes, your Switch 1 is gone.
Yes.
Well, I heard a rumor, and you're going to have to verify this.
Yeah, okay.
I heard a rumor that there's a specific game you've been playing on the Switch 2 that sounds like Breath of the Wild. It is Breath of the Wild?
So what happens is,
how many years were you railing on Breath of the Wild on the Switch on this show? And now, lo and behold, I find out that you're playing it now.
So I had to realize if poop is still poop, even on a new system. Okay. Yeah, 9 months. I'm gonna take a little bit of liberties. So what happens is with the Switch Online, they give you the free Switch 2 upgrades of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And with those, it's like $10 otherwise. With those, you get like a GPS on the Nintendo app on the phone that gets you. Literally, it'll be like walk north, make a right. Like it's a legit GPS to get to the different points. And it tells you like where all like the items are to get and everything. So I had to try it. Certainly had to try it. Didn't play long. Because I'm like, no, I still don't want to craft.
It's still Breath of the Wild.
I still don't want to cook. I'm good. And graphically, the games I like take advantage of because it's 4K on the television. It looked beautiful. So bottom line, Switch 2 is amazing. Breath of the Wild, still the worst Zelda game of all time.
Oh, please.
And so not a lot has changed, to be honest with you.
Well, a lot has changed because you actually now have it on your Switch 2.
I did. I had to re-download it because I didn't buy it originally. I don't have Tears. I just have Breath. So I did have to re-download it and did that. So it had to take up some memory. That was the only problem. The memory card, right? So the memory card, it takes a new type of memory card. It's called a micro SD Express. Okay. But it only went up to 256.
Oh, that's not enough.
There was some like rogue 512s out there, but 256 doesn't even hold a third of my Switch collection.
No.
So for the longest time, like I was like undeleting games just to play stuff. To be fair, on board is also 256.
Okay.
But finally, Lexar, I think, dropped a 1 terabyte micro SD card. I'm paying out the nose for it, but at least now I have everything now on my Switch 2. I think maybe one game's not compatible, but it was like one of these games I don't even remember buying, so I'm not worried about it. But otherwise, I'm setting off to the races.
All right. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that you have the Switch 2. And more importantly, I'm very happy you have Breath of the Wild on Switch 2. because that just proves my point. Whether you like it or not, the fact that you own it.
It was telling me where to go. I'll take that much.
You'll tell it where to go, which is great.
I sure did.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm very happy for you and the Switch too. In terms of shopping on my end, because I do still like to show them off.
Yeah.
I have a few things. There's a video game store I found up here that you would like a lot. The name of it is Vortex Video Games. Okay. The guy who works there, Otto, super nice, very knowledgeable, awesome to talk to. He'll just sit there and talk games with you all day. But the store itself is loaded. Like anything you're looking for, I think this is like the place to find it. So my friend John, who's been on the show several times now, he told me about it. And I was like, okay, I'm all in there. So it's really awesome. And I definitely want to show off what I picked up. So I went there yesterday with my friend Rich, who's up here right now. And I picked up The Price is Right for the Wii.
Yes.
So I have The Price is Right Decades. I did not have the regular Price is Right. So I was like, you know what? Let me just complete the pair. So I grabbed this for fun.
Great game.
What?
Great. It's such a fun game.
Great game. Yeah. The next one I got, Rich actually grabbed it off the shelf and said, have you ever played this? I'm like, no. He's like, you need to buy it. And I'm like, why? And then he showed me something on it. So it's a game called Boom Blocks. I don't know if you've heard of this one.
No, but I don't know why it looks familiar.
So the game says throw, grab, and blast your way to victory. 300 levels set in 5 action-packed worlds, single player or multiplayer, co-op, and versus, with up to 4 players at once. And I'm like, okay. I go, so it seems like a action-packed puzzle-y kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But what was interesting about it is that he said, look at the top of the box. And I'm like, I look at the top of the box and I go, what does it say? A Steven Spielberg EA game. I'm like,
what?
I'm like, what does Steven Spielberg do in making
a
game? So that upped the intrigue. And then to cap it off, I bring it up to the desk to buy it. And Otto looks at it and he's like, have you ever played this game? I'm like, no. He's like, this game is phenomenal. And I was like, yeah. I go, my friend just told me, he literally handed me and told me to buy it. So I'm like, okay, so I got to check this out like really, really quickly.
All right.
Everybody's talking about this. I don't know. Maybe if I can record some gameplay, I'll show it off. The other ones that I got were Seen It. I did not know. Well, I did not know Seen It had a third game. So I picked up the third one. This one is Bright Lights, Big Screen.
I might have remembered that one.
So there was Seen It, Box Office Smash, and then Bright Lights, Big Screen. So
you know what? That one.
Yeah.
That one I might have gotten. That one I might have bought digitally back then. Because I think there's one. I think there was one more, but that was owned. But now that the shop is down, you can't get it. I think there might have been a digital only.
Oh no, okay. Maybe there's a digital only, but there is one more that I will not add to my collection, and it is Seen It Twilight.
Was there really a Twilight game that came out like that? I never knew.
There was a Twilight Seen It, and I'm like, I don't want it.
No, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that came out. Okay, fair enough.
Right. And then, two more I have. Naturally, we all know the Mortal Kombat Legacy collection is coming out in October.
Cannot wait.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
Yes.
So what am I doing? Like a dum-dum? I'm buying all the Mortal Kombats that I don't have in my collection before I buy the Legacy collection.
All right, you're buying the ones on Legacy before Legacy.
Yes, and then I'm going to buy all the Legacy ones. So I picked up Armageddon.
Great.
Mortal Kombat Armageddon for me.
Yep.
You know, the one that I'm looking for that I can't seem to find, at least when I'm going to the store, is Deception. And I want Deception in my collection. So anyway, but I grabbed Armageddon because I needed it. And then last but not least, when Charlie and I were doing the Super Mario Brothers 40th episode a couple of weeks ago, I went to pull all my Super Mario Brothers games out of my collection to show off on the show. The original one, all the like the NES one, the Famicom one that I have, like not Lost Levels, the All Stars on Super Nintendo. I just want to show them. While I'm going through my collection, I go, something looks like it's missing, and I'm like, where is this game? And I'm looking around, and I'm like, how do I not have this game in my collection? And I looked at my app to look at my collection, and I'm like, I don't have this game. I didn't have Super Mario Brothers 2.
What?
So
for real?
Yeah, it just
holy cow!
I just didn't have it there. I've owned this before.
Well, yeah,
and you know what? And in my 10,000 moves that I've done, I have lost games along the way. And maybe this one just was one of the ones that fell out, but I definitely did not have it. And I looked all over the place. I go, I don't have this game. So I picked it up.
Crazy.
Yeah, this was like criminal. To
for real.
Mario Brothers 2. So
holy cow. Maybe you were thinking, because I'm sure you have Super Mario USA, which is that game for the Famicom.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I have Super Mario. I have Super Mario USA.
Yeah.
And I have Super Mario Brothers 2 on the Famicom disk system.
Yes. But
I just did not have this
That's
one.
wild. Okay, fair enough.
So I added that, and that completes my collection.
Awesome.
Yes. The Retro Gamers Podcast is brought to you by Old School Gamer Magazine. Sign up for as little as $20 per year for 6 issues that include feature articles, interviews with retro programmers, new and old product reviews, and more. If you look carefully, you'll even see an article or two penned by yours truly. You can head over to oldschoolgamermagazine.com/retrogamerspodcast and sign up so they know where you heard about it. Old School Gamer is dedicated to you, the old school retro gamers from the arcades to
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar, zero patience for slow walkers, those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night, have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Your home. All right. And now we have arrived at the topic for the show. There is nobody I could have had on the show other than you to talk about this. And I'm not talking about it because I want I want to.
I thought you were just going to stop. I'm not talking about it.
I'm not talking about it. End show. No, we're talking about this topic because it has resurfaced like the classic horror movie villain who will not die. This is the Freddy Krueger. This is the Jason Voorhees. This is the Michael Myers of the video game industry. Today's topic is the Nintendo Virtual Boy.
Yes. I love this. This is worth coming out of retirement. I went into semi-podcast retirement for 30 minutes, but that's a different story. But now then I went back into retirement, and then you opted. Then when I saw this happen, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh, please have him call me. Please have him on the show. There's no other way to do this. There is no other way to do this.
No, there is no other way to do this.
First of all, you have a lot of new followers and a lot of new listeners, which is, and I've said it before often, I'm going to say on air, I'm so happy for you and what you did with this show. When I left and you took it over completely, I cannot be more happier. But there's a lot of people now who I'm sure this is the first time you even uttered those words, maybe let alone the letter V on this show. So maybe just a quick background. Well, first, quick background to us. We really didn't get into that yet. Super fast.
We haven't.
We've known each other for 30 years. Me and Anthony. We met in high school.
Over 30 years now.
Oh, you're right. Over 30 years now.
Yeah.
So we met in high school. I was a freshman. He was a junior. And that's where everything took off. First time I went to his house, I got mugged. So that brings everything up to speed. So 30 years ago, that's also, I didn't even realize, this is how big of a fan I am.
It was the first year I'd known you, this happened.
Yeah. And 30 years ago, this was released. We're doing a 30th anniversary of the Virtual Boy.
We're doing a 30th anniversary of the Virtual Boy. It was released August 14th, 1995 in the U.S.
Yeah, so I purchased it shortly thereafter. I don't know if I bought it day one. Well, excuse me. I know my parents bought it day one. But I got it quickly thereafter. Now, this is a true can be story. I get the system. I set it up. I'm at my house, loving it. I'm like, all right, let me go over to Anthony's. I'm going to bring the Virtual Boy. He's going to love this. I bring it to his house. I set it up on his dining room table.
Yep.
He takes his glasses off. He sticks his head into it. Not 15 seconds into Mario Tennis, you're like, this sucks. That was like, I think that might have been a direct quote. And you've legit not liked this system from day one.
I didn't like it from second one. Forget about day one. Second one. My eyes went in it. Well, and part of me at the time thought it could have been because I was wearing glasses. Like maybe this thing wasn't meant for people who can't see very well.
It said, I remember, I don't know if it was Virtual Boy or the instruction booklet, said 10% of the people back in 1995 or 1996 will not be able to see 3D. So congratulations, Ant. You're part of the 10%.
I am part. You know what? I've always been part of that small group, that upper echelons, as you would say. But yes, no, I stuck my face in there. I looked at it. I said, "This sucks. This is not 3D. This is all red. Trash."
You had me set it, put it right back in the box. I think you kicked me out of the house.
You know what? I should have, and that should have been the end of the friendship. But no, that's not what happened. So yes, so we are quote unquote celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Virtual Boy. It did come out a month ago, but I did not want to give it its due. But then Nintendo decided to swoop in and ruin that moment of gloss over with their announcement on the Nintendo Direct about the new Virtual Boy attachments.
Now it's been a little bit. Yeah, no, it's been a little bit since I had a chance to watch since I've been able to watch any podcast. So don't take it personally. Yes. I haven't been able to watch anything.
No, it's fine. I'm always offended.
No, that's true. Do you allow cursing now on the show or anything like that?
I do not allow cursing on the show.
All right, so same as we did before. Yes. Okay, no problem. So this news dropped on the Nintendo Direct, and I love this. You have no idea. That's how much. What's going on? Where's he going? I've done solo shows before, pal. I can run with this ship. Where you going? Come on back. I'm sorry. It's not my show anymore. That's me. That was being selfish. I apologize. Where'd you go? All right, I'll do this on my own. So Nintendo had the Nintendo Direct, and they were doing a lot of games and everything. I legit forgot about that. Well, the shirt. I forgot about the shirt.
And that's what you get.
Oh, Charlie. I never forgave you for that
sucks. One. Yes. I think we've resurrected VB sucks.
Yes, that is an OG product that we used to sell. VB sucks. There we go.
Well, actually, the product is available once again if you go to the retrogamers.com.
Oh, my lawyer will call yours.
There is a store available, and VB sucks did make its return.
There is. No, that's cool. I was like, all joking aside, I'm sitting there, I'm watching the Direct, and then they do the announcement, and the way, for those of you who saw it, it starts off with this silhouette. The last thing on my mind was Virtual Boy. So I'm like, is this terrible graphics maybe? Like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And they pan out, and then bam, bam, bam. I know that wasn't the music they used, but that's from a movie, I remember.
Right.
And then Virtual Boy, and I legit jumped out of my sofa and almost hit the ceiling. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, I that's it. That's the words I can say. This is phenomenal, and I still think this is a great move on Nintendo. I would say 8 or 9 years too late, and I can get into that in a moment. Okay. But I think right now, with allowing these games to come out for a generation who's only heard horrible things about the Virtual Boy and now can experience how wonderful,
horrible,
great, and
terrible,
enjoyable some
terrible
of these games will be.
Disgusting.
Great part on Nintendo to do this.
Vomit inducing. I have lots of adjectives I could use.
We get the hashtag. Good God. But no, I've probably, and this is no joke, I've probably rewatched that, when they isolated just the Virtual Boy announcement from Nintendo. I probably watched it about 10 times on YouTube and 4 times on the Switch too. I can't get enough of watching it over and over again.
Yeah. Well, and I can understand that. I can safely say that I watched it once. After my
couldn't believe it.
Well, no, after my stomach was done turning, I just walked away and moved on with my life because this was probably one of the worst announcements in Nintendo history, aside from the original release. I've got 3 announcements from Nintendo, or 3 things from Nintendo that I think were, probably their worst things in history. One were the games on the Philips CDI. Two was the original release of the Virtual Boy, and the third one is now bringing the Virtual Boy back. Some things are meant to stay. Some things are meant to stay dead. Like a lot of bad movie franchises. That is what the Virtual Boy is to me.
Okay, I mean, but let me ask you this in all seriousness. Aren't you just intrigued to be able to play some of these, even to give you more fodder, Adam.
Well, I mean, more fodder is always fun, but like the fodder has already presented itself for 30 years. Why do I need something new to add to it? All it is like, hey, look, Nintendo's greatest failure now available on Switch 2.
Well, Switch and Switch 2, so you can play it.
Oh, I can play it?
There is no excuse.
Boy.
You can play it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Wait, do you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack?
No, I don't.
Then you will not be experiencing the Virtual Boy. But I know what to get you for Christmas. So
not that, thank you. if I see a cardboard thing come into my house. By the way, how was your Nintendo Labo? That was another success.
Oh well, that was another thing I was thinking about. The only Labo I have left is the 3D Labo, and I still have it somewhere. And I also bought like a third-party 3D set, so like you can bypass the Labo when that was a thing. So I wonder if you can use that. Like if people have the five of us who still have that 3D Labo. Yeah,
like why do you need the Virtual Boy Lab? Yeah, one because it's the same thing.
And now let's talk about that part. So obviously I'm watching like if I could somehow try and do it in real time. I'm watching the Virtual Boy announcement, and then I go, wait a minute. Okay, they're bringing back the Virtual Boy games, but how are they going to get that 3D aspect? I figured they were going to go straight 2D. Okay, you're not going to get 3D, but at least you can play the games. But then, as if the icing on the cake wasn't good enough, let's put that gold leafing on there that just makes it pop even more.
Yeah, they call that cyanide.
To play these games, I'm going to ignore that. To play these games in 3D, you do need to purchase an additional accessory. One of which Anthony just mentioned, which is a basic cardboard thing that you slip over the Switch and you hold it up to your head, which is actually more convenient than the original Virtual Boy if you think about it.
That is correct.
You just hold it to your head and you use the Joy-Cons. The other one, which I will probably take the whole day off from work to make sure I get this on pre-order, is an actual Virtual Boy unit, we'll call it, that you stick the Switch or the Switch 2 into. You duck your head into it and it will play in 3D.
Basically exactly the way the Virtual Boy was originally planned to play, that failed miserably. So let's do that again.
When I saw the unit, this is not a bit for the show, folks. I was so happy to see this.
And I was not.
And then I saw the pricing.
You know what? And the price, I was like, they're gonna literally charge people $100 to buy this thing. I thought that was a bit much.
Yeah, so like $99.99 for the unit, $24.99 for the cardboard piece. Say what you will about. I mean, the Pro controller was $84, and I have the GameCube wireless Nintendo controller.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that was about $80. So things are going up in price now. Again, it is what it is. Yep. But still, so I was at Game On, the store out here on Long Island, just checking things out, and we were talking about it. I was talking about it with the owner. And I'm like, yeah, Virtual Boy games come to the Switch, and there was a guy there. He's like, oh, I got bad news for you. You're gonna have to buy like a thing that looks like the Virtual Boy, and it's gonna be $100. I turned to him. I go, I have yet to hear something bad coming out of your mouth. This is all good news. What are you kidding me? Wow. So you do have to buy these units to play it in 3D, but I honestly don't think you need them to play. I still think you're going to be able to play them on your regular television or on the Switch, just in 2D.
Just without the 3D,
Without the 3D, because I think the games drop mid-February, but I think the accessories aren't available till the end of February. So it wouldn't make sense for that to drop. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? We'll have to have you back on to give your assessment since I will not be. I will not be playing. But okay. So, but again, it's one of those things where just when you thought Nintendo like would not dip into something, like they are the kings of resale, repackaging, all of their stuff. Now I'm waiting for their CDI games to come out so that we can all play those things. I mean, since you're dipping, if you're going as far as the Virtual Boy, you might as well just go all the way.
I would say for the 50th anniversary, I would not be shocked if we saw for the 50th Mario anniversary and the
Like
50th
the CDI
Zelda
games?
CDI games, maybe.
Maybe we'll get Mario teaches typing from the PC.
Game
some of the, or we can get the sewing one that they had made for like sewing companies.
I forgot about that. Yes,
I forgot the name of
yes.
Sewing pattern was
probably Mario sews. Probably.
Whatever it was. But it was like cross stitch Mario. I don't know. But anyway, we're talking about the Virtual Boy this episode. I apologize to everybody who knows the history of it, but we're going to be doing a very special retro spotlight on the Virtual Boy. And I have a feeling, Larry, that you might learn a couple of things about this system you love so much from just the history of it.
Oh, hit me. What don't I know? Let's find out.
Well, let's see what Larry does not know about the Virtual Boy. All right, so let's start off with the basic information. Obviously, this thing was developed and published by Nintendo. One of the systems that did not have the input of Shigeru Miyamoto, by the way. It was released July 21st, 1995 in Japan, August 14th, 1995 in North America. So we're right on. This is the 30th anniversary.
Yep.
The original price of the console was $179.99, which in 2024 standards, because I looked this up online, would be $370.
Sounds about right. Last time, yeah.
Not cheap. But no, not cheap for a time back then when you were talking about like at this time, Game Boy, I think, was going for like $100.
Yeah, Game Boy definitely dropped in prices. It was out for almost like 6 or 7 years by that point. Yep. But when I said sounds about right, like when the last time I bought a Virtual Boy, which I do have a Virtual Boy with me, but we'll show that later. But last time I bought like an actual Virtual Boy, it cost me about $400. So that's what I'm saying. Like the price, actually, then if you think about it, the price kind of stayed the same, which then I guess isn't a good thing. But in any event,
not necessarily. Yeah. This was a bit that I did not know and I found kind of funny. In North America, the Virtual Boy was discontinued August of 1996. So it literally lasted one calendar year before they pulled it. In Japan, remember I said July 21st, 95, they discontinued it December 22nd, 1995. They only had it for 6 months.
Wow.
They pulled the plug fast.
I mean, for a country that had the Famicom for about 35 years,
oh my god,
they were like, no,
we're not doing the Famicom shelf life I think was somewhere around 16 or 17 years.
It really was, yeah.
So like 10 years into the Famicom's life cycle, this thing came and went. The total number of units sold, and when I say this number, this is worldwide units sold. Worldwide units sold about 770,000 units. Didn't even hit that. Didn't even hit a million.
Well, for 5 months in Japan, 12 months in the US. All right,
770,000 units. Well, remember that number because as I talk about the virtual, like later when I get into some of these stats, you'll find it very interesting. So, how did this monstrosity come to be? We have to go all the way back to 1985, actually. 1985, where a company called Reflection Technology, Inc. developed a red LED eyepiece that they called the Scanned Linear Array. It produced a head-tracking 12-inch, and what they did was they took this linear display and they produced a head-tracking 12-inch display device prototype that was called the Private Eye. And they created a tank game as like part of the prototype to show what this scan linear array can do. So this is basically the 3D red aspect that the Virtual Boy was going to wind up having. They took this they took this Private Eye and they went out to try and get funding and a partnership so that they can develop something out of it. They went to Hasbro. Hasbro said no. They went to Mattel. Mattel said no. They went to Sega. Sega said no.
Wow.
Then they go to Nintendo. And Nintendo's general manager at the time, Gunpei Yokoi, I don't know how to say his name. He is very well known in the Nintendo world because he invented
the Game Boy.
He invented the Game Boy.
Yep.
And he also invented the Game & Watch.
Oh, okay. I knew the Game Boy. I didn't realize about the Game & Watch. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
he's the handheld. So he's the handheld guy.
He's the handheld guy. So Reflection Technology went to Nintendo. He saw the potential of this in terms of innovation and creativity, which is what Nintendo always tries to do. They don't stick to just what works. They do take chances. So they signed an exclusive agreement with RTI, and they decided to start working on something with this technology. The project was codenamed VR32 because the plan was it was going to be a 32-bit system, and that's what it wound up being. They went into development on it for 4 years. So the deal happened somewhere around 1990, 1991. So not too long after the Game Boy was around, because the Game Boy came around late 80s.
89, yeah.
Yeah, 89. So 4 years in development with this. They had, I think they had, at the time, they had at least 3 research and development teams at Nintendo. So R&D 3 was actually already working on the Nintendo 64 at the time. So one of the other R&Ds were working on Project VR32. They decided to use an LED screen for the Virtual Boy because they found out that the LED screen was cheaper than an LCD screen. A color LCD screen would have wound up with a $500 console if they used LCD. So they moved away from which is just unaffordable. So they went with LED because it was cheaper. And not only that, but they found out that the LED screen created like a perfect blackness on the screen that it would allow the 3D to pop compared to a backlit LCD. Like a backlit LCD would not give you the same 3D effect that they needed at the time.
You're right. And actually, if I could just piggyback on that just super fast, you're right. When I go back and think about it, you're right. That, say what you want. The red definitely popped off the black, and it did. And to compare the Virtual Boy to the Nintendo 3DS, where like the Nintendo 3DS was more depth, if I can say that, like it almost looked like the games were like going into the screen. The Virtual Boy, I remember the Virtual Boy, things coming at you, and again, that I can definitely see that happening based on those screens. Yeah.
Well, I'll take your word for it since I couldn't see it. So,
what about the 3DS?
The 3D, I don't do that either. So anyway, the Virtual Boy the original plan for the Virtual Boy was to have head tracking function because that's what RTI developed. The whole idea was you were going to wear this thing and you were going to be able to move around with it, right? But what happened was concerns started to develop at Nintendo about motion sickness. I guess through testing, they were doing motion sickness. And there was actually a fear of children developing lazy eye conditions from the head tracking element of the Virtual Boy.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, so as a result, what they wound up doing is they removed that functionality, that they removed the head tracking ability, and that's when they created the tabletop design with the stand, because they did not want to be held responsible for those type of ailments with people. They didn't want people getting, I mean, you can't play a console if you get sick from it, right?
Agreed. You ever play GoldenEye?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, but again, it's a perfect example.
I know. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You bring that up perfect because I always say I don't play first-person shooter kind of games because I do get a little like dizzy and sick from them. So I just veered away.
There was some PlayStation VR games the short time I had that kind of got me like, ooh, let me put this down for a minute. Yeah.
It's funny you should say that because there are some VR games I've also played where I can't play them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But my VR is all for Beat Saber anyway. So that's it. Beat Saber or bust.
Love it.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
When your investors, customers, and workers demand more from your business, make it happen with SAP. The AI-powered capabilities of SAP can help you streamline costs, connect with new suppliers, and manage payroll, even when your business is being pulled in different directions. To deliver a quality product at a fair price while paying your people what they're worth too, so your business can stay unfazed. Learn more at sap.com/uncertainty.
So that was the development period for the VR32. 1995 rolls around. We get to CES. We get to E3. They start to demo this thing. And they demoed it with a couple of items. One thing was called the driving demo, where they were trying to showcase the 3D by just doing like a driving thing, like driving down the street, watching the road signs pass by and stuff to give you that idea. The other item that they used to demo this thing was Star Fox. They developed a Star Fox demo that showed like how the R-Wing would move in the in a 3D environment like that. And those were the two things that they used. With now, and here's the interesting thing with the Virtual Boy, which I also think kind of, besides the fact that I think there were a lot of pieces with it that weren't going to work. Since the N64 was in full development at the time, because the N64 came out not too long after this in '96. Especially in Japan. It came out, I think, June of '96, and then we got it in September of '96. Actually, I think when this episode drops, the Nintendo, the N64 will be turning 29. I think the day before this episode drops.
There we go.
I think it was September 29th or September 28th, somewhere over there. But anyway, with their eyes set on the N64 development, resources kept getting shifted over to that, and less resources were going to be handled with the Virtual Boy. As a result of that, that's why I had said earlier, Shigeru Miyamoto was fully focused on N64. Other game development wasn't focused on the Virtual Boy. And the software that was being developed for it, the games that were being developed for it, just was not getting Nintendo's attention. So all of these things were basically leading up to kind of like, it was almost like they were expecting this was not going to move the needle a whole lot. They were hoping, I think that they were hoping that it would do well enough, but that was not to be. So when this released, it released in July in Japan, September here. The launch games were Mario's Tennis, Red Alarm, Telero Boxer, and Galactic Pinball. Those were the 4 games. And in North America, Mario's Tennis came as a pack-in game.
It's the one I have.
Which Larry still has.
Yep.
There it is. And that is not in 3D right now. You can move it all you want. It's 2D.
My new iPhone, man. Come on.
I was going to say your Focus. Yeah, your iPhone 17 is not making it.
Finally, right?
Yes. Now, remember I told you about keep the number of the units sold in your mind.
Yeah, got it right here, 770.
Yep. So Nintendo of America projected that they would be able to sell 1.5 million consoles and 2.5 million games by the end of 1995. So in 3 months, they were anticipating that type of sale. 3.5 months. Okay. Needless to say, they didn't get anywhere near that. The response to it was very, very poorly. Some of the response to the system, like a lot of the things that they heard was it was too high priced. It was too uncomfortable to play because even though it had a stand, people were considering this a handheld basically because it wasn't hooking up to your television, and the Game Boy was already out for $100. So this was just another handheld that was more money, and it was uncomfortable to play.
And not only that, to talk about the this, I'll admit, the stand doesn't rise or lower. Like you can't adjust it. Nope. It's a static stand.
You just
I'll even admit that. Yeah, like when I get the stand to play, I mean, because it's guaranteed. When I get the stand, when I get the adapter, you know, I'm 45 now. I was 15 when it came out, so I was a little shorter back then, so I was able to comfortably fit it. I'm gonna have to get like a stack of books to be able to play on this. Though I did admittedly, even when back then I used to lay down and rest it on my head.
Yep,
I used to play it like that. I don't think I'm gonna do it with this.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like if you know, because they took out the head tracking, that was the problem. Because like if it had head tracking, you would have probably had like, you know, the headset
100%
just on your face, the way VR is.
Yep.
But they took that away, and then instead that you got this uncomfortable thing. So that was one thing. The marketing campaign for it was considered very poorly handled.
Yeah,
they spent upwards of 25 million on marketing, but they just whatever they did just didn't hit the mark.
The only thing I remember was just advertisements in Nintendo Power. And they gave you 3D glasses. That's how they advertised it. All the screens were in 3D.
Exactly. And then obviously the lack of head tracking was also called out because it lessened the immersion. The whole idea was to be fully immersed, and without the head tracking, and the lack of movement, you were just sitting there stationary, and it didn't feel like a fully immersive experience. So all of those things kind of led to its demise. On the console itself, 22 official games were released between Japan and North America.
I feel like we've gone back and forth on this. I'm taking your word on it, but I could have sworn it was a little more than that. I know we did this bit before, but
my number's 22. 19,
I believe you.
Yeah, 19 of the 22 were released in Japan. 14 were released in America. I thought, and see, even that number I thought was wrong. I thought it was 16 in North America. It was actually, according to this list I'm looking at, we're only 14.
So here's what's funny now with the only as far as I know, only 14 games are going to be released on the Switch for the Virtual Boy. And
maybe it's all the US ones.
No, 3 of them at least I think are Japanese. I'm going to go through the list when we're done, but that now makes me question all that. All right, go ahead.
So the last games to be released in Japan on December 22nd, when they discontinued it, there were 2 games released on December 22nd. SD Gundam Dimension War, which was a tactical role-playing game, and Virtual Bowling. Those are the last 2 released in Japan. Neither of those games made it over to the US. The 3 games that Japan did not release on the Virtual Boy were 3D Tetris, which ironically was, I believe, the last game released in the US. That was it was March of '96. That was the last one that came out. So 3D Tetris, Nestor's Funky Bowling, and Waterworld were not released in Japan. The US got those 3. And then the ones that weren't released in North America, there were several. A majority of them were all more the Japanese. Although Space Invaders Virtual Collection, you would have liked, I'm sure.
Well, that looks amazing. I totally forgot Waterworld came out on the Virtual Boy. Totally. Yeah. That's the only licensed movie game that came out on the Virtual Boy. Yeah.
Yep. And then of all the games on the Virtual Boy, and we've talked about this before too, I think the most well-received one was Virtual Boy Wario Land.
I'm not just saying this to be funny. I put it in like a top 10 list of all-time platforms.
I remember you saying that.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. So 22 games total from what I did I say 22? I said 22.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So 22 games total that were released. I tried to look up some fun facts. Could not really find anything fun. But I'll say this.
Now I'm taking it personally.
No, I'll say this much. This was a fun comparison that I saw somebody post on one of their articles because I read a bunch of stuff about the Virtual Boy. But remember the N-Gage? We talked about the N-Gage all the time.
Love the N-Gage. I always wanted one, yeah.
The N-Gage, which was also a commercial failure, sold better than the Virtual Boy.
Did it really? Both versions of the N-Gage?
Yeah, the N-Gage sold 3 million units total compared to 770,000 Virtual Boy.
Wow.
And the most interesting thing, though, that I did find about the Virtual Boy are the games that were canceled on it. There were a total of 34 games that were either in development or getting planned that were just not, that wound up getting canceled. And I have a list of the one I highlighted like a good 10 or 12 of them.
Okay.
That were supposed to come out. Okay. There was going to be a Bonk game on the Virtual Boy, like Bonk's Adventure.
Yes.
Galaxian 3 Project Dragoon.
Okay.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Virtual Bomberman.
Okay.
Worms. Worms was going to do a game. And then here come the more interesting ones. There was going to be a Street Fighter 2.
Okay.
On the Virtual Boy. Donkey Kong Country 2.
Really?
Yep. GoldenEye 007 was planned for the Virtual Boy.
That would have been awesome.
That would have given you the full 3D. There was talk of doing a Mario Brothers Virtual Boy game. Not platformer. There was a platformer plan. Virtual Boy Mario Land. There was some type of Virtual Boy Mario Land played. Mario Brothers Virtual Boy was going to be the original Mario Brothers game.
Ugh.
Redone for the Virtual Boy. Yeah, I know you don't like that one. Because they used it as a demo, Star Fox was also eventually planned for the Virtual Boy as well. And finally, Virtual Boy Mario Kart was on the table.
Wow.
Which would have been and that's just, like I said, that's just like a dozen of the 34 that were planned.
No Zelda.
There was no Zelda
Shocked.
on this. No.
Shocked.
I wonder if they just were having trouble trying to figure out how to do a Zelda game.
Yeah, no, you're right. That'd be a little tough.
Yeah, with just the red,
Well, they did
It's very
fine with
limiting.
green. I get personal when people say red. All right, the Game Boy's in green. Couple
True
of those
story.
games that you mentioned. First of all, the first there's been a few homebrews that have come out, but I remember when someone like the first heavy homebrew game, someone did make a full Street Fighter 2 for the Virtual Boy, unofficial, but someone made it playable. In fact, every year at the Retro Expo, they have it set up.
I wonder if it
And they
was.
have it.
I wonder if it was based off of what they had. I wonder if like they got to a certain point with it and then left the code.
Oh, maybe, and someone probably found the code and just finished it.
Yeah.
And then they have it because someone you can buy an output on the Virtual Boy to play it on the screen. But someone did make a Street Fighter 2.
Oh, unrelated. They actually have it in the article here. It's unrelated. It's unrelated to what they had originally planned. Yeah.
Fair enough. And then Star Fox probably ended up becoming Red Alarm, because Red Alarm plays very much like Star Fox, but it's
maybe
all wires, as hopefully you'll see one day. Because of all those 22 games, North America's getting 14 of them. Japan's getting 15, actually. They're getting an extra game.
Oh.
And if I may, just to go through the list that's going to be released, now, these aren't all going to be released at once, which is kind of odd. Like, they have them announced, but they're going to send them out over time.
Before you go there, I want to mention one other canceled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't notice this.
Okay.
There was a game that was supposed to come out called Zero Racers, and I just want to read this because a spin-off of the F-Zero series of racing games that would have taken place in the same fictional universe and contained similar racing vehicles, albeit with the change of racing through a more tube-shaped track than the flat one. In 2022, a former Nintendo employee verified that the game was entirely finished and ready to be released, even getting an ESRB rating.
Wow.
However, the game was canceled due to the failure of the Virtual Boy and never released in any capacity, although some characters meant to be introduced in the game were later implemented in F-Zero X on the Nintendo 64.
Really?
So there is a completed Zero Racers game out there. I wonder if, again, if that'll be like a surprise release on the Online Plus at some point, if it's already done.
That wouldn't shock me. That'd be cool if they did that.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Star Fox 2 on the Super Nintendo Mini, and what they eventually released on the thing. All right, so here are the 14 North American games that are going to be released. I don't know which ones are going to drop first, but they are in alphabetical order. 3D Tetris, Galactic Pinball, Golf, Innsmouth no Yakata, which I think is a Japanese game coming over.
You think?
Jax Brothers, which I think also was only released in Japan.
No, it was released in the US.
Oh, was it? All right, my bad.
October 95. I think
that's one of the really pricey ones nowadays.
It's super expensive. I looked that one up.
Oh, yeah. Mario Clash, Mario Tennis.
Of course.
Mario's Tennis, excuse me. Red Alarm. You mentioned before, Space Invaders Virtual Collection. We're getting that one. Teleroboxer, V-Tetris, Vertical Force, Vertical Bowling, and Virtual Boy Wario Land. The 15th game Japan is getting is Virtual Fishing.
Yes, okay.
Now, of the 22, I mean, these are basically,
Virtual Fishing was their pack-in game.
Over in Japan?
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. Okay.
Well, because I'm looking at I'm sorry. The publisher's name was Pack-In Video. Okay, never mind.
Fair enough. Hold for edit. No. So, and I'm gonna be honest with you, these 14 games are the 14 games. Like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head without looking at the list. And I can tell you right now, I think I only had maybe 6 of these. I only had like 6 or 7 games. I didn't have a lot of games. I can definitely tell. Yeah.
The only other one I can think of that might be interesting would be Virtual League Baseball.
That'd be interesting.
Make a 3D baseball. I mean, that was on both systems, Japanese and North America.
The games I definitely had was Vertical Force, Red Alarm, Mario's Tennis, Mario Clash, Golf, and Wario Land. Those are I might have had Teleroboxer. I don't remember. So for me, this is my collection. This is exactly what I had growing up. So this is, again, I think it's great. You know, you got to look at it akin to when plumbers don't wear ties. When Limited Run released Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. Like, really?
Yeah, you are exactly correct.
The worst. Like we're always talking about what I think we talked about it once years ago. there's only like 80 something percent of every video game ever made are like lost to the ether. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So even the bad ones, at least this is going to be available to play, which in a historian's point of view, fantastic. In Anthony's point of view, hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
But be that as it may, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, and to be serious for a minute, I am a big proponent for protecting video games and making sure that they don't fall into the ether, even the bad ones. As Larry said, I do own Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. If you look over my left shoulder, you'll see Night Trap sitting up on my shelf because I've already got my background set up for October. So no, I do agree. I do think that these things need to be kept and saved and stuff. Repackaging them for sale is fine. I think, it's just the Virtual Boy for me never worked.
Mm-hmm.
It was just not, like Larry said, I was one of those 10%. But on top of that, like, again, I think the fact that because Nintendo was so focused on the N64, you can tell that they did not give this probably the attention it really needed. And it became basically what was, just to give an equivalent, I would call this like the 32X of the Nintendo era at the time, where it was like, we're going to throw something out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but we'll see if it flies. And it was really just kind of a novelty that they didn't really put the attention into.
I can see that.
It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables. Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me.
Today's topic, he's round with soft, pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, Crust.
I can see that. Let me ask you this. And now you got to put yourself back into your shoes as 15 or 16, however old you were. I know you're
That's okay. I acted the same exact way as I do now.
No, not that. No, that I know. But if I never brought the system over to have you try, did you have any inkling? Because back then we used to buy we basically bought stuff almost sight unseen back then.
Pretty much.
But like, what was your? Because I don't remember us talking too much about maybe we did like during lunch or something in high school.
Yeah.
But did you have any interest? And then I completely shut that down once I brought it over.
No, I didn't have any interest in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I think the reason why was, remember, I wasn't a Game Boy player. I didn't do the handheld stuff.
Yeah, I know why too.
Yes, the screen was too small. Screen was just too small.
Look, no one else gives you problems on this show. I'm going to.
No, that's perfectly fine. You can give me all the problems. Yeah, I did not like small screens.
No,
that was the first thing. The other thing was, at the time, I was fully invested in the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis.
That's true.
There were so many games still coming out on those that were just top-notch games. I mean, you gotta remember, 1995, we were still getting stuff like Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario RPG, like things like that were still like getting made on this system with the N64 on the horizon. Yeah. And not only that, Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation were happening at the same time as well.
That's true too, yeah.
So there was so much stuff going on that the Virtual Boy to me just it wasn't a blip on the radar for me.
It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Have you ever purchased a Virtual Boy?
Have I ever purchased a Virtual Boy? I believe the answer to that question is no.
I think technically you can't. Oh no, I did.
No, you purchased a Virtual Boy when
I have a Virtual Boy.
You have a Virtual Boy, but we did a bet. We did a bet years ago. We used to do these bets every year.
Yeah, I don't know why I kept doing them.
Where the loser bought a Virtual Boy for the winner, and you lost, and you bought me a Virtual Boy.
Oh, there we go. Oh, you cracked it like a lobster. Oh. Oh, you had to? That last piece?
I think it's officially dead.
And you ended up giving it back to me. You were gracious enough to give it back to me.
I gave it back to you.
I love the Virtual Boy.
I gave it back to you as a birthday gift.
Yes, I have it here. So let me show you the Virtual Boy that Anthony got me. And I look at this often, even today, and it reminds me of how you feel about me. And
it shows the strength and value of our friendship.
So this is a Virtual Boy, or part of the Virtual Boy, that Anthony gave back to me. I will just show the rest here.
There's the rest. Yeah, put it over there it is.
No.
Whatever's left of it.
Yep. And
what I like is that you kept it in the same mailbox.
I did. No, you have no idea.
In the same package.
So oh, here we go. I can do it. Here, look. Yeah.
You got the little red thing?
Like split. It's like Splinter in Turtles 2 with the TGRI thing. He just like puts them together. Yeah.
There you go. So do you think
this was your origin?
You think you can use that for your Switch instead of getting the new one?
Someone get Jack on the phone right now to hot glue all this back together.
We're just gonna hot glue that Switch back together. Yes, that is what is left of the Switch I gave Larry.
And I'm sure you can go back and find it. It was wicked.
It definitely was. And you can find that everywhere on our site. I don't remember what episode it was. It was like 160 or 180 something. It was definitely early on, but there's also a flashback clip of it on our YouTube page.
Oh, that's
there you go.
Poke my eye out. So
please don't injure yourself with the broken Virtual Boy.
So that's the Virtual Boy.
But you do have. But now that you mentioned that, though, you do have an actual Virtual Boy. You bought.
No, I do. It's packed. It's packed away. I didn't get a chance to take it out for this. I would have.
But you have it. But you have it in box, right?
Wow. Yes, I do have it in box, and the mess I made here right now. I'm just moving all this out of the way.
Yeah, clean up on aisle 3 later.
The final thing I'll mention is this on the Virtual Boy on my end. I did find it very interesting and innovative, and to this day, I still don't know why they made the choice. The controller. No one talks about the controller of the Virtual Boy. Everyone talks about the games and the headset and everything. The controller, without getting into it, it had like two holders on it, but it had 2 D-pads on the left and right side. It had A and B buttons as well, but it had 2 D-pads. And it was just weird. When I say weird, not hard to use. It was just interesting to use for the first time when you're doing that with 2 D-pads. So, but
and the other thing about the controller itself too was that it was kind of a precursor to the N64 controller, because even though it didn't have anything really going on, it had the middle piece as well. So it had that M shape to it.
It did, because that's where the battery went. Actually, the battery plugged into the controller.
Right, exactly.
So,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like it does kind of resemble. It's like a weird N64 looking controller.
And the Joy-Cons, because when they announced this, I'm like, oh, how are they going to recreate that double D-pad? But the Joy-Cons fit right into that, so it's going to be the way the buttons are on both sides. So bottom line, we got till February to see how this is going to go, and hot daddy, I cannot wait.
I'm so happy you're excited. I am not. But any other closing thoughts on the Virtual Boy?
No. Again, I'm just happy that Nintendo's bringing it back. I'm happy. This is what I wanted to mention. I wanted to mention earlier when I said it's like 10 years too late. In all honesty, though, why they didn't do this on the 3DS is beyond me. True. I mean, the 3DS was perfect for this. They could have sold 1 or 2 carts, like best ofs, to put the games on, throw them in there. Now, the only thing I've ever modded was my 3DS, and I modded it so I can play Virtual Boy games. And based on the mod, playing the Virtual Boy games on the 3DS without a headset, without glasses, without having to do anything, again, such a missed opportunity. But at least we're here. Better late than never.
Well, I was going to say, I was like, nobody thought of it, or maybe there was, people figured out a way to do it on the 3DS, obviously, but I wonder if they just didn't want to go through the recoding of it and figuring out how to make it work on 100%. The 3DS, because sometimes, and also at that time, I'm sure their entire company was completely distracted with working on the Switch.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. I'm sure
because I remember around that time, the Wii U was not doing well. Right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And so, the Wii U is one of those systems to me where it's like it's grown over time. People have actually gone back to now appreciate what the Wii U was, because the Wii U is actually a really interesting system. Totally. It is. I think without the Wii U, I don't think we would have had the Switch the way that it was, because a lot of the elements from the Wii U went over to the Switch.
Agreed.
So I do think that the Wii U is, and actually I've been trying to buy more Wii U games before the prices start to go up with it, because I feel like the market out there, people are starting to go after it.
I hear you. No, you're right.
So I've been trying to build my Wii U collection piece at a time. But getting back to the Virtual Boy, probably I can go. I mean, I could probably say easily like it was the worst system I think Nintendo ever came out with.
It was.
But when you look at the grand scheme of everything they've come out with, everybody's going to miss somewhere, you know. And this miss that they had was not, obviously, it didn't damage the company any.
No, it's one of those things where history is kind of showing it that even with mean cheesy movies, I love cheesy movies, and sometimes the cheesier the better. So that's what this falls into. So.
Exactly. So Virtual Boy, I don't want to say happy, but happy 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, Virtual Boy. I will.
Happy birthday, Virtual Boy. Larry, like I said at the beginning of the show, I couldn't think of celebrating this, or my version of celebrating this, the Virtual Boy, any other way than having you back on the show. And I really, really hope that you'll come back again. This was something you helped build, and it just has that little extra zing when you're here.
I appreciate that, and I'm very happy to be back on. I'm glad you reached out and say, hey, let's do this episode.
You're like the heartburn that comes on after spicy food. It's that little bit of extra you get.
I've been called worse, so that's fine by me. No, and like I said as well before, how we started this and we brought it to where it is, and then when I stepped away, and then seeing, like I said, how you gone even further than I expected and hoped for. So very happy to be back on your show, and definitely happy to do this again down the road. But I feel like, the timing was perfect for me to come back for this episode as opposed to anything else. So this just worked out well. So
I couldn't agree more. And since we're here, Larry, I know you're not podcasting, but where can people find you?
I was going to go into something else.
What do you want to go into?
We can do the old closing if you'd like. I don't know if you still do the old closing the way you did it. Where to find you.
I do a weird version of it now. It's not the same.
Okay, well, you can find me everywhere pretty much at More365, MOHR365. Right now, like I said, Anthony said I'm kind of taking a break from podcasting, but when I'm ready to get back into that world, Ant will be the first one to know. And hopefully he'll let me back on again to promote that.
Of course.
But so that's just find me everywhere. More365, MOHR365.
Yeah, and you guys can find us everywhere at the Retro Gamers Podcast, on Facebook, on Blue Sky, on Instagram. This is why I always mess this up, because it's changed. On Instagram, you can watch us on Spotify. You can watch us on YouTube at Retro Gamers Podcast. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We're back up on Twitch at the Retro Gamers Podcast.
Okay.
So watch and listen everywhere. Larry, it was an absolute pleasure having you on.
And this honestly felt like riding a bike. We just got right back into it.
We got right back into it, including the hour of like prepping and messing things up before we even started recording.
Probably not doing half of what we talked about. So that's how this worked.
We forgot about 50% of it, which is par for the course with us.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Thank you.
And with that, Larry, would you like to close the show like you used to?
All right, folks. And have a wonderful week.
You have a wonderful week as well.
Have a wonderful 2 weeks.
That's right. Wonderful.
I forgot about that.
Yes. You do the same.
And we'll catch you everywhere. Well, Anthony will catch you everywhere in 2 weeks right here on the Retro Gamers Podcast.